to accept it and float ourselves in its waves according to our capacity. After passing through so many conceptions and the charm of different prospects, we have left them all behind and have come to the shore of the ocean of Nam Sankirtan. Now we may throw our bodies into this ocean and begin to swim in the waves of Nam Sankirtan. The nectar of the nectarine, by the grace of our Guru and the mercy of the Vaishnavas. It is their property, and we are their slaves. We have such audacity to throw our body into this ocean of Nam Sankirtan and swim in that nectarine ocean. Swimming in Radha Kund, the highest conception of spiritual attainment, can also be found in the highest form of Nam Sankirtan. This verse represents the positive side of the unlimited ocean of Shri Krishna Sankirtan. The next verse explains the negative possibilities. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given his Sanskrit commentary on the Shikshashtakam as well as his Bengali translation, and his is a most original presentation. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada has also given his commentary on the Shikshashtakam. They should be carefully studied in order to understand these points more completely. In these talks, however, I am simply coming out with whatever I feel in my heart. Whatever comes to my mind on these verses, I am expressing. And that is the outcome of what I have collected from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Rupa Goswāmī, Sanatana Goswāmī, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all the predecessor acharyas. By their grace, that is gathered in my storehouse, and I am trying to give the gist of these meanings. The Krishna conception conquers all. By accepting the path of devotion, a wholesale transformation of our internal system begins, and gradually our charm for the outside world vanishes. There is a war within, and when the Krishna conception enters into the heart of a devotee, all other thoughts and ideas gradually have to retire. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Pravishta Krishnarandhrena Swanam Bhavasaroruham Dunoti Samalam Krishna Salilasya Yatha Asharat. When the autumn season appears, the mud within the water vanishes. In the same way, when the Krishna conception enters into one's heart, all other conceptions and aspirations will gradually have to retire, leaving Krishna in possession of everything. When a real drop of Krishna consciousness enters the heart, all opposing forces must leave, and Krishna will conquer and take possession of the whole. That is the nature of Krishna consciousness. Nothing can stand in competition with it. Not even the so-called devotion for the demigods or faith in creeds like Christianity, Islam, and others. All other conceptions of theism have to retire, leaving the field to the Krishna conception. No aggressors can stand in the fight with Krishna consciousness, the absolute sweet beauty. Beauty, sweetness, and charm can capture and defeat power. We are really aspiring after beauty and sweetness, mercy, affection, and divine love, prem. Self-dissipation to compensate others with one's own energy and generosity ultimately conquers everyone. It is more rewarding to give than to take. Divine love means die to live. Not to live for yourself, but to live for others. The most generous form of life, self-forgetfulness, to the extreme, is found in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is so beautiful that one who develops it loses his own identification and existence also. He becomes totally self-forgetful. Such a charm is there. Who will stand to fight against Krishna? Everyone who comes to fight against him is disarmed. If in any way Krishna enters the heart, there can be no other consequence but that he takes possession of everything. Such a benevolent, generous, and sweet person is Krishna, reality the beautiful. Jai Śrīla Param Guru Mahārāj ki jai. Yes, Arun Prabhu. Your mic is muted.
So beautifully it is explained, like when the autumn season appears, the mud within the water vanishes. So that's, we progressively, it gets clearer and clearer. I remember when I was in school, I was reading some verse, and the teacher asked, so why this verse talks about the water of Ganges in the Sharad Ritu? And so most of the class was dumbfounded. Most have not seen the Ganges. And so at that time, I just applied logic that in the summer season when there is flood, there is a lot of brown, debris or the water has got so much thing. But by the time the flood season is gone, then you see the beautiful, clear water. And so similarly in our lives, we have a lot of contamination that we come through. But, just like this, all the contamination just goes away and all that remains is purity. And further, 2 chapters later, as Guru Mahārāj explained, again, my materialistic mind is like, every atom, every photon has a free will to have whatever polarization, and whenever it wants to do an energy transfer, emit a photon. But when that master initial photon is there in a laser, all the atoms just line up, and their will becomes the will of, the principal laser, and they all resonate and are in sync totally. And that's how, we will lose the notion of self-consciousness. So beautifully explained. At least materially, I can see some very crude simile here, where my interest just dissolves. I'm just there for the master interest. Very, very nice. Guru Mahārāj is great. Even dumb people like me can get a clear idea of his teachings. Yeah.
You are very humble, Arun Prabhu. But yes, there is good analogy in what you said. Like, it's such a beautiful conception. No doubt the ideal is very high, but like Guru Maharaj says, a man is known by his ideals. And so why compromise? Like, oh, since this is ungettable, so I will not aim for it. And you reminded me actually of when you said in school, in one of the English poems that went through in middle school. I'm not sure who it is by, but it goes something like this. Success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. To comprehend sweet nectar requires the sourest need. That's how it begins. And when I first saw that, it was in stark contrast. Just this part of the poem. Everything else was pretty mundane. But this struck in my head like, this is like celebrating losers. And I don't know of any other place where I've seen where losers are celebrated other than Weight Watchers. But really that has nothing to do with anything else. But at that time I didn't know, of course, what it means and all, but it got kind of imprinted. Like, success is counted sweet by those who never succeed. Or success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. That's how it goes. So it's something like that, where we're going on this path, and this high ideal, actually highest ideal, that is known or revealed as of yet. And there are assurances given from the other side. There are so many assurances. Param Guru Mahārāj, other teachers, other acharyas, divinity, they're all part of divinity. They give assurances. Someone thinks, well, what if I'm not successful? Right? Because fear of failure, I mean, we all recognize it. Even, common undertakings, we're fearful of failure. But there's that verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, I think. Abhikramanash. Nehavikramanaṣosti pratyavayo na vidyate. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahto vayad. So it means na eha abhikram. Abhikram means the beginning. In the beginning, nashosti. If you're not able to follow this path entirely to its logical goal, then it's not like the result is diluted. Neha vikramanaṣosti pratyavayo na vidyate. And then the real assurance is swalpam apyasya dharmasya. Swalpam means even adhering to the principles for a little bit, truly, from a sincere heart. Trayate mahto hayat. It has the power to deliver you and save you from the gravest danger. Mahto bhaya, mahto bhaya. And so before this verse is the explanation of that this is Buddhi Yoga, which is a more general Bhakti Yoga, path of Bhakti Yoga. So this is about Bhakti Yoga, that is, this assurance is given. Neha vikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamupyasya dharmasya trayate mahtovaya. So it doesn't say that if you reach this milestone, then you are assured. It says even a little bit of following this path. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Very important. Trayate mahtovaya. Now, depending upon where one is situated, mahatovayat may be viewed as different, may be viewed as physical mortality or in a higher sense, but mahatovayat, which covers all mahatovayat. Then we go to, there is other naivehanamatra vinashastasya vidyate, where the Lord is saying, Partha naivehanamatra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyanakrit kaschid durgatim tat gacchati. I think that's chapter 6, Path of Meditation, but he says that in response to Sri Arjuna's question that what if I'm not successful on this path? Then I will be like a cloud who doesn't have any anchor, drifting about. And to that, the Lord says in response, like, Naive, Parth, that hey Parth, listen, like in this life or on the higher plane, amutra, vinashastasya vidyate, never will come to ruination. Someone who embarks on this path. And nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tat gacchati. Param Guru Mahārāj used to say this a lot as a blessing to all of us. Nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tat gacchati. Oh dear one, tat, he's referring as to Sri Arjuna as his own, like tat, my dear one, that nahi kalyanakrit, you're endeavoring for all auspiciousness, for the highest good. That is what kalyana means, you know. Kalyanakari, karya. Intrinsically, it has that goodness because it's for Krishna. He says to endeavor like this, nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tat gacchati, never will meet durgati. So these are the assurances and these are blessings that are given to real practitioners who have this high ideal and want to pursue it. Not for entertainment or fashion or just as a casual undertaking, but give themselves to it. Give themselves to the cause of all causes and then proceed with all earnestness. And then all auspicious. There is no loss, whether complete, whether incomplete. Milestone 1, milestone 2, milestone 3, doesn't matter. That's the beauty. Hare Krishna. Dandat Pranam, Anil, Sangeeta ji, Namaskar, and Anil ji also, sorry.
Yeah, Dandavad.
Hare Krishna.
Anilji, you are muted.
No, I said Hare Krishna, sir. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I was just in listening mode because I have to go and pick my daughter from the school right now, so that's why I was in audio mode only.
At 7:25 p.m., what school is she in?
There is some special event going on.
Okay.
So basically, full program, right? So
All right. Okay. No problem, Prabhu. So we have now the verse number 2, and we can all chant together if you want, if you have anything to add or comments. Okay, then we can chant the verse number 2 of Sri Sikshastakam. Nam namakari bahuda nij sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala etadrashi tava kripa bhagavana mamapi durdevam idrisham yahajanina anuraga. Translation. O my Lord, your holy name bestows auspiciousness upon all. And you have unlimited names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you reveal yourself. In your many holy names, you have kindly invested all your transcendental potency. And in chanting these names, there are no strict rules concerning time or place. Out of your causeless mercy, you have descended in the form of divine sound. But my great misfortune is that I have no love for your holy name. Illumination. Here it is said, O my Lord, you have revealed the chanting of your holy names, and all your power has been invested within those names. Both the holy name of Krishna and its potency are eternal. All potencies or energies are found within the holy name of Krishna, and there is no particular time or place which has been fixed for chanting the name. It is not that one can only chant in the morning, or only after taking bath, or only after going to a holy place. There are no such conditions. One may go on chanting the holy name of Krishna anytime, anywhere, in any circumstance. In this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, O Krishna, you have given a most sublime opportunity to all. You are so infinitely gracious that you have given us the service of your holy name, Nam Bhajan. Still, my misfortune is the worst. I don't find any earnest desire within me to take the name. I have no faith, no love, no tendency to take the name. I do not find any innate hankering to chant the name. What can I do? This is the second of Srimad Mahaprabhu's 8 precepts. He says, O Lord, you have given everything from your side to lift me up from this mundane world of relativity. Your attempt to deliver me is so magnanimous that all you require from me is a little cooperation in accepting your grace. But I turn a deaf ear to your magnanimous call. O Lord, I am hopeless. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us great hope in the first verse of his Sikshastakam, or 8 precepts. He explains that the chanting of the holy name of Krishna, when properly undertaken, may progress step by step, revealing 7 consequences. First effect is the cleansing of consciousness. The second is liberation from all mundane relativity. As the third effect, positive goodness awakens within our heart and takes us to Vrindavan. Then under the guidance of Surup Shakti, the Lord's internal energy Yogmaya, we come to the Vadhu conception. We are potency. We are to serve Krishna unconditionally. Vadhu means that rasa, which gives full connection with the Lord. Madhura rasa. Ecstatic ocean of joy. After attaining that stage, what are the other consequences that come? One becomes a particle in the ocean of joy. And that joy is not stale or static, but ever new and dynamic. It is purifying to the utmost. Although we are allowed to keep our individual conception, still we feel that all parts of our existence become purified to the utmost when we take the name. And this will not only affect me, but all who are connected with this Nam Sankirtan. They will experience mass conversion, mass purification, the utmost purification. These are the 7-fold results of chanting the holy name. After mentioning this thesis in his first verse, Mahaprabhu now gives the antithesis in the second verse. When such great hope is there in the holy name, why are we having so much trouble? Where is the difficulty? Why do we not realize the advantage of the magnanimous sanction of divinity found in the holy name? Inestimable grace is coming from Krishna's side. He has given us so many opportunities with the least requirement from our side. We must have some taste, some earnestness to accept the holy name. But there's the difficulty. We have none. So what hope can we have? How can we attain it? We may be approaching the holy name formally, but not from the core of our hearts. So by what process can we really benefit and make progress? The third verse answers this question. So thesis, antithesis, followed by synthesis. That is the progression of truth proper. Back to Param Guru Mahārāj. Although one may feel that he does not have the minimum required deposit to receive the grant, still it is not a hopeless case. The very nature of this realization takes him to the conception of humility. When one begins to practice devotion towards the infinite Lord, he cannot but feel that in relation to the infinite, there is nothing of value in him. Isn't that a fact?
Yes.
So, it's viewed as a problem, but mystically, someone who's really following it will feel the same way in humility. That we have nothing, I have nothing, I have no taste for chanting. Mahaprabhu's saying it. And this is the sentiment of Srimati Radharani. That the proof that I have no taste or I have no real love for you is that I still live on. How can I maintain my life here? How can I maintain my life if I had real love for you? Huh? So if that thought comes to some practitioner that I've developed some, so all one has to do is just keep in mind the highest servitor. When one, back to Param Guru Maharaj, when one begins to practice devotion towards the infinite Lord, he cannot but feel that in relation to the infinite there is nothing of value in himself. He thinks, I have nothing to give in return. Even the minimum requirement for the Lord's grace is absent in me. That takes him to the conception that I have no qualification. I am completely empty. A devotee feels within his heart that he is not only unfit, but too despicable for the Lord's service. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I am lower than a worm in stool and more sinful than Jagai and Madai. Jagai Madai haite, mui se papishta. Puri sher kit hoite, mui se lagishta. We should not be discouraged when we think we have not even the least bit of merit which is required for the service of the holy name of Krishna. For this kind of consciousness is natural for a devotee. At the same time, we must guard ourselves from an insincere conception of our own devotion. This is our enemy. To think I do not have the least liking or taste for the Lord is all right, but to think I have some taste, some earnestness, some devotion for the Lord is dangerous. The egoistic world. If we are going to have a connection with the infinite, we must be fully empty. Our self-abnegation must be complete. Worldly attainment is a negative thing, and we must withdraw from it completely. We should think I am nothing. I have no qualifications for being accepted or used in the service of the Lord. I am completely unfit. We must completely withdraw from the egoistic world and allow ourselves to be captured by Yogmaya, the Lord's internal energy. A slave has no position. The whole position is with the master. Everything is his. Realizing this is our real qualification. as soon as we assert that we have some qualifications, our difficulties begin. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says, I do not find a trace of love of Krishna within my heart. Na prema gandosti dharapi me harao. This is the standard of humility. And that feeling must be sincere. It must not be an imitation. We must be careful. We must not venture to imitate the highest devotees. To genuinely feel, to conceive that we possess nothing and that everything is His, that is the only qualification for chanting the holy name of Krishna.
Prabhu,
Yes.
so in the comment before, the paragraph before, where he says that if you think I have some faith, some earnestness, some devotion to the Lord is dangerous, but we're also told that, you know, we have some property within our hearts, that it's our property. So what would that property be?
That is our inheritance. That is our constitutional inheritance. Because we are His ansha. Mamaya vamsho jivaloke jiva bhuta sanatana. You remember that verse, Param Guru Mahārāj always, he really liked it, and for sincere practitioners, he stressed upon that. Tattainukampam susamikṣamano bhunjānevatma kratam vipākam hritvāk vapurvir vidadhan namaste jīvet yo mukti pade sadaya bhāk. What does that word dayabhak mean? Inheritance. Tattainukampam susamikṣamano. So this is for sincere practitioners at any level. They may be at any level. We cannot see who is at what level. So I can see a little bit about maybe my condition. But he says that tattainukampam susamikṣamano. One who sincerely looks forward to and patiently waits for his anukampa, compassion, grace. Bhunjānevatma kratam vipākam. While accepting all reversals, all difficulties, everything that is coming to him as maybe in a correctional fashion, which is perceived as negative or unwanted, as a result of his own karma, vipākam. And he keeps bearing that without thinking that, I'm trying to do this and look what's coming to me. This kind of a egotistic demeanor, losing that. Always feeling, yes, this is coming to me because this is all my doing. And then while he's bearing that, what does he do? Hritvāk vapurvir vidadhan namaste. He is fully dedicated by his heart, by his words, vāk, speech, and vapurvir, body. Vidadhan namaste. Complete dedication and always offering full glorification, which is nothing but full sankirtan, engaging in full sankirtan at all levels. Like this, they live on. Jivet yo muktipade sadaya bha. It is their inheritance. The muktipad, the path of progressive immortality that we discuss, that is told to us, that is a given. So from that perspective, yes, we can feel, yes, it is my birthright. But look at all the conditions. Hare Krishna. Arun Prabhu, any reflections? Chinmoy Prabhu, any reflections? Okay, then.
It's very wonderful. I just don't feel qualified that I even get a portion of it, but whatever I get, it just fulfills my immediate questions, and it just satisfies me. So, mercy of Gurudev, Guru Mahārāj to have given this illumination, which is coming from above.
We are very fortunate to have each other's company and association, and with whatever we have, we are given this opportunity to somehow go on. How much grace is coming, even when we have next to nothing. So let me see if I can round up the troops here. And the third verse we will do next time. So I'll be right back.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hariharaya Namah Krishnaya Yadavaya Namaha.
Hariharaya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath.
Shri Deva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
Shri Deva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
Ichhai Gosai Kori Charana Vandan.
Eshai Goshai Kari Charana Bandhan.
Jaha Hoite Vignana Shabishta Puran.
Jaha Hoite Vignana Shabishta Puran.
Ichhai Gosai Jar Mohitaradas.
Eshai Goshai Jar Mohitaradas.
Tansabara Pada Renu Mora Panchagras.
Kashabara Padarenu Mura Panchagras.
Tadera Charana Se Bhi Bhakta Sane Bas.
Tadera Charane Se Bhi Bhakta Sane Bas.
Janame Mora Ei Abhilash.
Janame Mora Ei Abhilash.
Ichhai Gosai Jabe Braja Koila Bas.
Eshai Goshai Jabe Braja Kailabas.
Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Korila Prakash.
Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Korila Prakash.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan.
Anande Bala Hari Bhaja Vrindavan.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayaman.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayaman.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas.
Hari Nam Sankirtana Ko Hai Narottama Das.
Hari Nam Sankirtana Kahe Narottama Das.
Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hariharaya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar.
Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar, Jai Gauranga Sundar.
Jai. Okay, Anika ji, please go ahead.
Jai Saprika Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhar Govinda Sundar Giridhari Gopila Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Patmang Shapar Chittaravari Astutazat Shri Srimad Bhakti Sundar Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Patmang Shapar Chittaravari Astutazat Shri Srimad Bhakti Rakṣhak Shri Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Patmang Shapar Chittaravari Astutazat Shri Srimad Bhakti Sanatana Swasti Chapur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Patmang Gokshor Das Babji Mahārāj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Patmang Chachi Nand Bhakti Noda Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Patmang Jagannath Das Babji Mahārāj Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Virga Ki Jai. Namachar Śrīla Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Shri Baldeva Vidyabhushan Ki Jai. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Narottama Sham Mandir Srinivacharya Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai. Sarprasad Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Sarprasad Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Lakshmi Varadeva Ki Jai. So the Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nrsimha Deva Ki Jai. Bhakta Prabhat Maharaj Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Ganga Jamna Ji Ki Jai. Grantha Raja Shri Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Akrat Mat Raja Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai. Vishwa Vaishnava Raja Sabha Ki Jai. Tadyasa Kamat Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Vishwa Pabya Tadyasa Kamat Ki Jai. Shri Dhammayapur Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Ki Jai. Vrindavan Pursatam Dham Ki Jai. Baladeva Subhadra Jagannath Ji Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Kunda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Shiva Ganga Ji Ki Jai. Samveta Vaishnava Mandal Ki Jai. Samveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nite Gopnande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Jai. Anika ji, Preeti ji, Vikram ji and family ki jai. Divine guest Anil ji ki jai. Divine guest Sangeeta ji ki jai. Our divine panelist Shripad Arun Krishna Prabhu ki jai. Divine Panel Sripad Chinmay Dev Prabhu ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswāmī Mahārāj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣhak Śrīdhar Dev Goswāmī Mahārāj ki jai. Jai Bhagwan Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Vishwavarenya Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Śrīla Bhakti Pavan Janardhan Mahārāj ki jai. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Mahārāj ki jai.
Jai.
Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Sapasha Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai.
Jai.
All the assembled devotees ki jai.
Jai.
Nittai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Abha Didi ki jai, Lamanika Didi ki jai.
Jai.